Top Gun fighter pilot, business consultant, and advisor Ed Rush has helped over 340 companies, including multinational, multi-million-dollar corporations, sports teams, Hollywood celebrities, and even one of the contestants on Donald Trump's Apprentice, grow their revenue, eliminate waste, and just have more fun in their business.
Share a damaging admission. I don't make my bed. I know that I'm supposed to. I know that as a Marine Corps officer and fighter pilot, I know I'm supposed to wake up in the morning, make my bed. In fact, there was that YouTube video from that Navy commander who said, make your bed, but I don't. Here's another damaging admission. A lot of the entrepreneurs I work with are disasters. I mean, like their office looks like someone just threw a bomb into it. I mean, their studios look nice, like mine looks nice, but behind the scenes, not so much. A lot of entrepreneurs I know have trouble focusing on the things that make a big difference. And on today's EdTalks Live podcast, I'm going to be taking a diversion. Normally, I don't do interviews on this podcast, but this topic is so important. I'm going to be interviewing my friend Perry Marshall, who just wrote a book called Detox, Declutter, and Dominate. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about how you can clear out the clutter in your life and your business and how you can totally dominate. EdTalks is next. Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to the show. My name is Ed Rush, 5-time #1 best-selling author, your host for the most positive place in the planet for insanely implementable ideas. I've got my friend Perry Marshall. Quick introduction to Perry. I was a student of Perry's back in 2007, 2008. He was the guy who really taught me how to get in front of my market in my original businesses that totally exploded after working with Perry. Since then, we become friends, allies. We share marketing ideas together. He's one of the smartest marketers I know. Started teaching Google AdWords back in the mid-2000s. Now, he's sharing a wealth of entrepreneurial information, and he's one of my good friends. Perry, welcome to the show.
Great to be on the show. Great to have you give me some airspace on your fantastic program.
So I'm serious. I can't remember the last time I've done an interview on this. This podcast is a pretty quick hit, where you just teach something, but this book is so great and so timely. I want you to, first of all, I mean, you've written, 10 books or something, a lot of books. What was it that inspired you to write a book about this topic?
People are completely oversaturated and they're overwhelmed. Right now with the political and the COVID stuff, everybody's like at double or triple level of stress. And they're thinking about way too much stuff. People have way too much input. There's way too much information coming in. And so I have worked with a number of clients doing different programs, and we would take things off their plate. Like literally every day there would be another thing that they were going to stop doing. Okay, you're going to stop doing this. You're going to stop doing that. You're going to fire a client. You're going to fire an employee. You're going to fire a vendor. You're going to discontinue a product line. You are going to take something that you think is on your to-do list and you're going to take it off. You're going to take certain marketing functions that don't fit your marketing DNA and you're going to stop doing them. And people started feeling so much sense of space. And once that happened, the ability to respond to, implement, and grab onto new opportunities or just optimize the existing opportunities that they're already in suddenly improved, and their businesses, their profits went up. Sometimes revenues would go down, but profits would go up. I had one woman, believe it or not, who finally filed for divorce because her husband had porn and substance abuse addictions that he had not been willing to deal with for years. And she finally realized, oh my goodness, I need to subtract a husband. Now I'm a family guy, just as much as you are. This is not what you would normally expect, except this guy had very serious problems. In fact, he was abusing her too. And she suddenly realized, hey, like the biggest thing in my life I need to subtract is this guy.
Yeah, I mean, so there's things that I call these accelerators and decelerators. So there's things that speed you up, get you faster to accomplishing your goals, and there's things that slow you down. You have an analogy that you use about some guy running down the street with a hospital bed trailing behind him or something. How does that go?
Yeah, so I want you to imagine that you are running down the street and you have 100 hypodermic needles in your arms, with each one has a tube going backwards, and they're all attached to all this equipment on a hospital bed, and you're dragging the hospital bed with tubes. Okay, now, and you're feeling dizzy and lightheaded, and you don't have enough blood because all the blood is leaving your body. What would it feel like if you just unhooked all of the needles and left the hospital bed where it is? And then you went to 7-Eleven and got a Slurpee. Like, how would that feel? That is how it will feel when you get rid of the psychological burden of thinking that you're supposed to start your day looking busy and responding to everybody's crisis. In the negativity of the media. Go ahead.
Because there is a difference between productivity and busyness. Most entrepreneurs find at the end of the day, they were busy, but most find that they weren't productive. So part of what you write in this book is the secret to true productivity. Starts with the morning, what you do in the morning. And last I checked, though, this book originally started out as like 150 pages, and now it's 30. Normally people add pages, but your book is a 1/5 the length of the original. What's the story there?
Yeah, so I wrote a book, and it was 50,000 words, 150 pages, and I gave it to Rob Scrobe, who I didn't know at the time was going to turn into the co-author of this book. He was just helping me with my membership stuff. He goes, Perry, I'll be back. Just hang on. And he disappears for a week, and he comes back, and he has chopped this thing down to 8,000 words, 20% of the original length. He chopped 80% of it. He goes, Perry, this is your real book. And then he added some graphics, and that's how you ended up with this is my manifesto of having trained 300 industries, thousands of entrepreneurs, every kind of business you can imagine. I've helped some of my clients literally sell their companies for $150 million. Okay, I've seen it all. I've crunched all of that down to 36 pages with graphics and pictures and illustrations and charts. And like, this is what is important in business.
I've got my copy sitting here. By the way, edrush.com/detox is where you can get the book. That's not even an affiliate link. That's just a short link. Instead of, there's a long Amazon link, which I didn't want to say all the letters to because you're probably on a treadmill or something. So, so as you're listening to this, go to Amazon. You can either type in Perry's name, Perry Marshall, and find the book, or you can just type in edrush.com/detox. It'll take you right to the book. I highly recommend it. I've got my copy sitting right in front of me. It's a fun book, by the way, and very fast. And it will help you really clear some things out. And it's been my experience as an entrepreneur that it's not so much the things you do, it's the things you don't do that create success. So if you sit around and check your email all day long, or if you're on social media droning about the latest thing that you're outraged about or whatever, you're not going to be successful, frankly. If you focus on things that really move the needle, like creating great messaging, getting new leads, getting new customers, building a tribe, engaging your audience, those are the kind of things that really grow a business. So Perry, when you start talking about this, you actually start with the morning, which is the place to start anyway. What are your thoughts about what people should do and what they currently do in terms of their morning routine or their practices in the morning?
Worst possible thing, reach over the nightstand, grab a device, go on social media. That is the worst possible way to start your day.
Or email or text message. Like basically don't touch your phone in the morning. Is that the idea?
Yes. Yes. And you do not do that. Shower, cup of coffee, sit down with a notebook and your thoughts again, not an email, and you figure out what's important to me. You do your prayer, you do your meditation, inspirational reading, whatever it might be, and you get yourself sorted out. It's like your private, narcissistic, spiritual space that nobody else gets into. And only after you've done that do you go on with the rest of your day. And you still don't begin your day by reacting. The next thing you do is the most productive thing that you can do right now that requires creative energy. And then after that is only after that do you engage with all of the needy world that's out there.
So you call this, by the way, is on page 10, 7 Steps to Business Renaissance. And you call it, in step 1, you call this using Renaissance time to gain discernment and clarity. Is that in the morning?
Yes, that's the first thing you do. I think discernment is the most valuable skill in the 20th century period. Why? Discernment is knowing what information is important when you do not possess enough information about the information to be sure.
That's so good, man.
Okay? If you can discern what to pay attention to and what to ignore, you have the master key to everything.
That's really, really good. I mean, so think about this way. I'm reading a book right now that's set in the 13th century. If you walked into a town in the 13th century and you wanted something to eat, there was a pub. That's where you would eat. Now, if you walk into town, you have Yelp and thousands of options. You have 17 different social media platforms that you could post the picture of your burger on. And it's not as easy as it used to be. So discernment, it's interesting. I haven't thought about that, but that discernment literally comes into every single thing that you do in this crazy connected world. So you start your day with Renaissance time where you're meditating, praying, talking to God, connecting to your subconscious or your dreams or whatever. And then you get to work. So when a business owner sits down to start working, and you've coached a lot of people, so have I, what are the biggest mistakes they make in that first move? Like I'm talking like plop in front of the desk. What's the detox, declutter, dominate method, and what does everyone else do?
So you need to figure out what are my, so you can make a whole entire huge list if you want, but the next question is, which of these are $10 an hour jobs? Which of these are $100 an hour jobs? Which of these are $1,000 an hour? And which of these are $10,000 an hour? And you're going to find that 80% of your list is 10 or at best $100 an hour work. Okay. And there's a few items that are $1,000 and $10,000 an hour work. And here's the funny thing about human beings. Almost all human beings, for whatever bizarre reason, will think that they have to finish the $10 an hour stuff first
to get to the good things.
They get to the $1,000. Well, you know what that means? That means if you're writing a book, you will put off starting writing until 4 o'clock in the afternoon when your brain has become Swiss cheese. Well, you know what? You can sort your files and empty the waste paper basket and drive to Staples when your brain is Swiss cheese. But you can't write a great book or any book when your brain is Swiss cheese, right? So people get it completely backwards. And I think it's because it gives them a sense of accomplishment to check something off the box. But there's no awareness that, yeah, but there's a $10 check mark is not the same as a $1,000 check mark, is not the same as a $10,000 check mark.
So when do you check your email? Because that's obviously not like high price stuff in a business
I
that's
check
trying to
my
move.
email at 11:30 AM.
AM.
Sorry, not PM. AM. Okay, so I've discovered that I'm sharpest up until about 11 and 10:30, 11 in the morning. My very best time, it's really between about 8 and 10 is when I'm absolutely the sharpest. I always make sure I am doing something really important, creative, and resourceful during that time. I am not doing anything I could be doing when my brain is Swiss cheese.
I like that. So wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, ignore your phone, except maybe to turn your alarm off, and then get up, do your breakfast, brush your teeth, have your Renaissance time, get to work, doing the most important thing. I mean, like, for example, if you've been wanting to write a book for the last 5 years, well, then guess what? That first hour in the morning, hour and a half, great time to start writing your book.
Yes.
Check your email at 11:30 and go dominate the rest of the world. I'm talking to Perry Marshall, by the way. The book is Detox, Declutter, Dominate. edrush.com/detox is the short link. Perry, we're running out of time. Give us your parting thoughts on why this book is so important and the message of the book is so important for people to take action on.
I've been in business for 30 years. I've seen it all. I've done it all. Everybody has a 12-step or an 8-step or a 10-step or the 7 most important things. This book has what I think are the 7 most important things. And here's what this book does that no other book does. It's the same 7 things, whether you make $10,000 a year or $10 million a year.
Good.
This list is good. If you want to master one set of 7 things instead of another one next month and another one the month after that and another one next year, and then you discard, you find out that half of those were bad, then you discard them all and you start all over. Like, I don't care what industry you're in, I don't care what business you're in, these 7 steps will last you your whole entire life. Incredible. All you have to do is just master a couple of them. You don't even have to master them all.
I love it. Go get the book. I just looked on Amazon. It's like $9. It's like, look, you can go buy a $500 productivity course, or you can go get Perry's $9 36-page book. It's really good, and it looks beautiful, and it's laid out really, really well. So congratulations on that. Listen, your life and your business and your mission is far too important to leave it stuck at the bottom of your to-do list. Okay, so get up, get it done, get on your mission, and then put everything else last. And by the way, we only talked about 1 or 2 of the 7 very important points in the book. There's other things like how to put a moat around your business. You're going to be fascinated when Perry talks about how to protect your business in ways that you don't even know. So go get the book. Thank you, Perry Marshall. You're the man, buddy. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Ed. It's a pleasure and an honor.
All right, everybody. Weekly Flight Brief is out. Make sure you join us on the email list, by the way. Go to edrush.com and just type your name and email there. I send some stuff out every single week that only my email subscribers get. I promise to be very nice and gentle with your email address. So make sure you go and do that if you haven't already done it. Until next week, this is your Weekly Flight Brief. Out.